I see you are our audience. Would you like to join us?
Sure, if there's no objection, sure.
No.
Absolutely.
Apparently, Mr. Ketchum's appointment will be, as you saw, corrected tomorrow. So we will have an opening, and Selby is coming in. I just saw him coming in the door.
Okay.
So,
I'll be ready.
hey Selby, that's fine. So if you would post it, that would be great.
Okay, the vacancy.
Yeah. I mean, there may be others, but it should be posted just as it should be.
Yep.
So I appreciate that greatly.
Yeah.
Terry has accepted the responsibility of being the clerk.
Congratulations,
Greg
Terry.
was the clerk, and he's no longer. So.
Okay, great.
So we're down to, once Selby joins us, and the audience this week is much lower than it was. I don't know about you, but I got a lot of comments from people from 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
A lot of public comments.
It was
Like
good.
your meeting, it was this, it was this. It was like, oh, okay, cool. So they must watch TV.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a great meeting. I really enjoyed that.
Agreed.
It was really good.
I believe that Selectman Hood is coming. He might be running a few minutes late. I talked to him earlier.
If he does, fine. If he doesn't, that's okay too.
Yeah. So on your posting, what we generally do is we post the vacancy for a 2-week period as the minimum. And then as we receive candidates, I'll send them to the FinCom and you'll take it from there.
Yes, I will.
If we get no candidates after the 2-week period, I'll come back and we'll decide to repost it, but I'm confident you'll get some interest.
I think I will. Selby, welcome.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
You too.
Mr. Ketchum has resigned, as you know.
Yeah.
He did not submit a written resignation.
Email works, I think.
Yeah, he didn't submit anything other than sitting here telling us.
Oh.
So as a result of that, in order to expedite the process, I have asked Tom Horgan, who is our moderator, to rescind his appointment effective tomorrow. Tom will do that. That opens up the slot.
Okay.
Robert is going to post it. Terry has accepted the responsibility of being the clerk, which Greg was.
Okay.
So I think we're all caught up.
Cool.
If possible, you are the main source of questions for finance and numbers and what have you from our meeting 2 weeks ago. Have you had an opportunity to review those numbers?
I tried to on my phone just now before I came here, and that wasn't working. I had a quick look at the spreadsheet that you sent with the debt exclusion schedule, and it seemed to me that I just hadn't seen the numbers. So it seemed to me like, there's things expiring as we bring this debt on. So I'm comfortable with that.
Well, I think it's important to note, Robert, and please correct me if I'm wrong, all we're doing is agreeing with the Board of Selectmen to request the school committee to put in a letter of interest. We're not encumbering any monies whatsoever. I think it's appropriate to look at the schedule, and thank you for that. But I don't think we're encumbering any costs by either accepting or not accepting what the Board of Selectmen has selected as option 3. I put that in the agenda, and I didn't put anything else in because 2 weeks ago we had a very thorough analysis.
Yeah,
I
a lot
thought.
of people here too.
So Robert, do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, I appreciate, as Selectman Hood mentioned at your last meeting, when the Board of Selectmen had asked the superintendent and the chair, as you mentioned, to start the process, and I think that's the key word. If we had all of our ducks in a row today, it could take 7 years for full fruition. I mean, you all know these projects take some time. At that meeting at the time, the Board of Selectmen would like the district to move forward, and the time frame is about January to submit that letter. Miss Granger, who is the chair of the school committee, who was here at your last meeting, had said to Selectman Hood she would like him to see where the FinCom stood. So then I agree. You had a very good. Your last meeting was very good. I thought there's a lot of discussion and so forth, and I think the school committee's position, because the financial piece will play a huge role in this project when we get started. Wanted to make sure, A, that the FinCom was aware, and to see if the FinCom was on board with the Board of Selectmen. So ultimately, as Scott requested, he's looking for a vote of the FinCom to sort of support the position of let's start the process for option 3 in January.
I think the key is start the process,
Mm-hmm.
not encumber the taxpayers.
Oh, we can't do that without them voting.
We can't. So I think starting the process is right, and we'll vote to do that. I think that I applaud the Board of Selectmen's approach to this whole thing. I think it was done right. And frankly, I think the fact that it's an air-only process is a good thing. That's my personal opinion as an independent citizen of the town of Ayer. I think it's a very good idea to do it that way. And I'm not asking anybody to agree or disagree. You can speak up as you choose or not. But I would, to move along with the agenda, entertain a motion to vote on the Page Hilltop Option 3 recommendation from the Board of Selectmen.
I make a motion that we, the FinCon, vote on the Page Hilltop Option 3 request to support the Board of Selectmen.
A second vote.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? None? Robert, you can log that the Finance Committee is in agreement with the Board of Selectmen for the school committee to go forward with the letter of interest
Will do.
for option 3.
All right. And we'll, of course, keep the FinCom updated as we get moved towards January. Most of the activity I anticipate will start in January, and we'll discuss, obviously, the FinCom playing a key role as a whole committee and potentially also some representatives as we move forward.
Well, we look forward to doing that as a committee. I think it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be fun, and I assure you, we will have something to say about it, won't we? No two ways about it. One announcement is Mr. Ketchum is no longer a member of the Finance Committee Board as of tomorrow, because the moderator will remove his name from the committee. And we are open to applications. Robert will be posting that shortly. If any of the committee members have someone they would like to recommend, please do so. We're always open for qualified candidates. And if there are no other items of business, this might be the shortest FinCom meeting in history.
I just wanted to, I received your email today about the budget process and the budget calendar.
Glad you brought
I don't know
that.
if we wanted to discuss that tonight, or if we wanted to schedule a future meeting for that. I will weigh in on my personal opinion. I don't want a sequence of a bunch of evening meetings to meet with the department heads. I'd rather consolidate that in either one evening meeting or one weekend meeting, however much time we feel that we need. And I don't know if we need to make that decision now, or if we make the decision once the initial budget request has been made to the manager and the selectmen.
Please speak up. I think this is perfectly good time.
I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to bring it up.
Okay.
I have some thoughts too, but
Okay.
and not to interrupt you. Yeah.
So the process that we use in the town that I work for is a joint meeting of the FinCom and the Board of Selectmen, at which the department heads present their budgets. We can get it done in the morning, or we could get it done, say from 6 to 9 p.m. in an evening. But I don't. So that's my opinion, and I don't know if we would need to do a joint meeting, but that's what happens in the town that I work for. That way, the FinCom gets asked their questions, and if that, in response, the Board of Selectmen have questions, it all gets resolved right there.
Yeah.
But in our last go around here, we had to have re-engagements, which meant, DPW may have been here, but they have to go back and do more research. So it was. I thought it was somewhat of a repetitive. You're going to have some repeat meetings, I think. Which I'm not saying that's good or that's bad. I'm just saying that I can see that happening. What I like is, and I'm giving my opinion on the
Please.
schedule, is having because last time I felt like as if we were rushed.
Mm-hmm.
And so starting earlier rather than later and having a strategic rhythm. You know, Board of Selectmen are what, first and third Tuesdays of every month.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't a finance committee be a second and third Tuesday of every month or
Well, I can tell you why we can't do it Tuesday.
well, I'm just.
But I
I'm just saying.
You're saying a regular
I'm just
standing
saying
meeting.
something, and so,
Mhm.
and to your point, yes, if it is a Saturday morning, okay. If it's a Saturday evening, okay, that's a, but I don't have a problem with that either.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Chairman,
And I don't have problems with extended meetings. Excuse me, extended meetings like
And,
3
and
or
it's
4
just,
hours.
and it was just, and I want to answer, or not respond to, I think we discussed this, or at least, I say
We
not
did.
by email, but I think we discussed having a regular meeting night.
We did.
I think when I first joined the FinCom, my meeting schedule for the town that I work for was all over the place. I've pretty much consolidated my meetings, and I'm not available any Tuesdays. And my Thursdays, I only have one regular commitment, but as we get into town meeting, that might be multiple Thursdays. Wednesdays, I don't have any.
Well, we
Regular
picked
commitments,
Wednesday
so-
at 6:30. That is our regular
All right.
meeting time.
Awesome, perfect.
And I think that works for all of us, and I like it,
Right.
and so does the.
And again, I'm not to belabor it. My whole point was, back to Robert's point, is he's going to have a calendar, and it's going to be published on that calendar, like the Board of Selectmen is
Yeah.
always saying, so that it's available. Then we go, oh yeah,
It's already on the website.
is it?
Yeah.
Well, but it only rolls up. It's not like as if. How many Wednesdays is it?
There's 3 or 4 every month, maybe 5, depending on how
We're
many.
gonna have it every Wednesday?
No, we're not going to do it every Wednesday. You guys can. You quorum with
There
me, you
should
can
be
do all you want
51
every
there should be
Wednesday.
52 of them in a year.
Mr. Chairman, all excellent points. To start, the first point is I sent to the committee, and some of you probably haven't had a chance to see it yet, is a proposed draft of the budget calendar for the year. It's modeled after what we did last year, which was the first year we had a budget calendar. So, of that magnitude. So I think the first thing is if all, you could take a look at that, and we're open to any suggestions, edits, and so forth. And I just sent it today, so some of you
Oh, I
probably
haven't
haven't
seen it.
got it. There are some things we have to work out, and one of them I'm glad that Selby brought up, because I agree, since we started this process, as it stands, we'll start the capital budget process. The capital requests will go out in October. They'll be due back in November, and then we do the capital, that piece of it. But for the budget directive, and we'll discuss that directive before it goes out, as I do value your input, that would go out in November, with the initial budgets to be back in December. Now, to Selby's point, which I think would work best, is in January to have this joint meeting, because we will have a joint meeting and have the Board of Selectmen, FinCom, have the budget presented. Everybody's around the table that first time, ask all the questions and so forth. We've done our due diligence, and you're in Acton, right? Yeah. Acton does it on a Saturday, or I'm just saying we can work out those details, but I think the key takeaway for tonight, if the FinCom is agreeable, we have a joint meeting in January. So all the questions, all the info, everybody's on the same page. Then from there, and it's obviously the purview of the FinCom, as we move forward, the FinCom, it's your purview, may want to, meet with other folks or so forth, but I think by having a joint process right in January, as opposed to because nobody wants to just meet, but most of the budget, generally, a lot of the budget is already set, if you will. You gentlemen know what I'm talking about, the fixed costs and so forth. So that's where so this is a good discussion, because that's sort of where I'm leaning towards, as sort of the model Selby's talking about. I agree with Mark that, and I thought it was Wednesdays, I think, and I know summer is over and so forth, that you have a, a standing meeting, and I've always appreciated the committee meeting when we've needed you on short notice for reserve fund transfers and so forth, but when you look at this schedule, whatever you guys meet, we'll put that in the schedule as well.
My opinion is I like Sylvia's perspective.
Yeah.
I also understand Mark's perspective, but they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
If there's a need as a result of an interaction with a department head to have a secondary meeting, then we can have a secondary meeting. If there isn't, then we don't need to. So I would be willing to say, yeah, let's do it that way. I like it. Terry, what's your
I think it's better to consolidate it as well. I mean, instead of having, we're all hearing the same thing at the same time, so it's hard to say I heard this there when you've got the same thing at the same time. So.
One of my alibis is I just came on board like last November, so I felt like I was way behind the power curve on many aspects. And so another reason for laying this out is then to be able to get the data ahead of time so that I know that on this night when we have a meeting, so I have to back it up, 2 weeks. Can I get that information 2 weeks ahead of time to be able to digest it and have my questions ready for the joint meeting, or whether it's our own meeting and I would think, we need to ask more questions about this.
I think that's a fair request.
Yes, and to that point, you'll see when you look at the draft, that first Friday in January, Ms. Cabri and I will have the proposed budget. That'll be transmitted to all of you and to the BOS. So you'll have the budget as it stands there. Then from that point, we'll schedule, to your point, schedule this joint meeting. We obviously want you to have everybody time to look at it and not, here's the budget, let's have the meeting 2 days from now. But to your point, so you got the budget, say that first Friday is the plan in January, and then we set that joint meeting, for 2 or 3 weeks towards the end of January. We can figure out those details, give time for the FinCom, the BOS, to look at everything, digest it, formulate questions. There may be some internal questions as well and so forth. So I'm glad that you brought this up, because I agree with that model. I think is the right direction. And of course, to your point, and yours, they're not mutually.
No, I think it works.
There's need for
I also-
follow-up.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we're going to have regular meetings.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
I don't think this is an issue that we vote on because
No.
we're not voting on anything.
No.
But I think we can agree in principle this is the right approach. I agree 100% with your idea and your point of view. And Robert, if that's what you want to do, if the committee is in agreement, let's suggest you do it.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
One other thing,
Sure.
if I may, Mr. Chair. Also, starting now that I will send to all of you, the FinCom, and they're also on the website, but so you get it
Just
direct.
so you know, everything I receive,
Yes.
I copy to these guys. They all know everything that I get.
Yeah.
That's automatic. I copy them.
So you'll be getting the monthly budget reports, the expenditure reports. They're also on the website, but just so we're just in the beginning of this budget. Everything's looking good so far, so we'll keep it going. But from my vantage point, if you all take a look at what I sent today, I welcome any thoughts. We're leaning towards your recommendation. One other area you'll see when we get closer to April, where we have to approve, the Board of Selectmen have to approve the warrant, and of course the BOS is looking for the FinCom's recommendations on financial articles. Right now, you'll see it has like the public budget presentation and like a week after the approval of the warrant. We know that's too close. We're trying to, one of the things that happened last year, we get compressed towards the spring. We want to try to maximize the public dissemination and public output of the budget. So I welcome, when you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It sort of sticks out. There's no way you can do the budget presentation and the approval in a week, insanely in a week. So we're open to any suggestions. The BOS is always asking me too about budget outreach as far as to the public and what have you. What's the proper forum, or what would be the most effective way to get public input also on the budget. And I do think, to Selby's point, that joint meeting, which would be a public meeting too in January, after both bodies have asked their questions and comments and so forth, there's an opportunity to take some public comment there, which is of value too in January, which we haven't had before.
Well, you know, I would invite you, because you are a public servant in the town of Acton, which is a bigger town and has a very strong history of doing things the right way. If you have any suggestions or recommendations on how we as a town can do things better, don't be shy.
Sure. That's why I brought it up.
I think it's great.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, me
I'll
too.
see
I think it's
something
awesome.
shy.
I think it's wonderful.
We don't want to reinvent the wheel, we just want to steal
No.
the
We
wheel.
just want to make sure our wheel is round instead of having flat spots on it. Any other comments? Then I would entertain a motion to.
Well, I got a question,
please.
not a comment, I do
Ah.
have a question. Where did Craig store all of his past notes?
His minutes. Good question. I have requested that he send us all the minutes. There are some minutes online, which you can find on the Ayer website. I will pursue Greg to get updates, because there's several meetings worth of minutes.
Yeah. How many outstanding meeting minutes do we have at the moment?
5.
We are in violation of open meeting law,
I'm sure we are.
and we need to resolve that as soon
I
as
agree with you
possible.
100%.
I would proposition that we hold the FinCom a meeting in due order to approve all outstanding minutes up to tonight as soon as we can. So maybe we set a meeting for 2 weeks from tonight to
Sure.
do that.
All right.
What was Greg's schedule? I forget, because he was flying out.
2 weeks ago, the following day, he was flying out to visit houses, and after that, I don't know what his schedule
Yeah, but
was.
he was coming back.
I don't know what he hasn't responded to any emails or any texts that I sent him. None.
Do we have his draft minutes from previous meetings?
No. We do not.
So do we have internal access to the videos? Something
Sure.
that we could see?
Are all
that we
FinCom
could go
meetings
back and
recorded?
replay those?
They should be.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what I would move is, or make a suggestion, is that if all these meetings are recorded, that the manager direct staff of whomever to produce minutes from all the meetings that are on video that we do not have drafts of.
Perfect. Good idea. Is that a motion?
That is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So be it. Thank you, Sylvia.
Just another administrative question to Terry's point. Do we have access to a file sharing place?
On the next question.
So that.
Like a
because-
OneDrive or a whatever.
Exactly, a
something.
OneDrive or something like that, so that, and you can, it could be set up where, you know, some administrator has grants and privileges, so you know, we would all have privileges to the FinCon file, but maybe only, you know, you and Chair.
Cindy. I can check with Cindy Knox
Yeah,
if
I
you'd
was
like.
just gonna, so a couple things, to Selby's motion, and I'll connect with you on what the missing ones are. If there's any attempt to try to connect with Greg one more time, but if that doesn't work, then to Selby's point, we'll get those minutes for your next meeting.
I will volunteer to participate in transposing those minutes.
Okay. And then to Mark's question, Pat, let's check with Cindy, that can be done through IT, so we'll figure out the solution, shared file. And then for Terry's purposes, and forgive me, Terry, you probably already know this, but it's always like going back to school refresher. If you're the clerk, like for tonight's minutes, you do them up in draft form, and then when the FinCom next meets, the FinCom approves them,
Yep.
and then you sign that approved version and send it to the town clerk.
And all attendees to tonight's meeting also sign an approval.
Okay, is
I'll send Terry all the information, because
Yeah.
I was the clerk originally.
Okay.
So I'll send you all the information I have from the original.
Yeah, so we'll get everything in order and in compliance, and
Yeah.
nobody's committed a high crime, but we wanna get this corrected.
We are under siege with open meeting law
I
violation
bet.
complaints in the town.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you for bringing that
Yeah.
up, seriously.
Draft minutes, can there be collaboration on draft minutes?
So,
So if Terry goes, hey, Mark, do you remember who said what on this?
Mhm.
And I can go, oh, yeah, this person said that.
yeah, so generally, this is Terry as the clerk, so he would do up these minutes in draft form and should send them electronically to all members of the FinCom ahead of your next meeting and
Oh,
say,
okay.
please let me know if there's any edits or so forth.
Okay.
Then on your agenda, at your next meeting would be the approval of the September 11th
Got it.
minutes, and then through the chair, there may be further questions, and then you approve them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to your earlier point, we'll talk to IT. We want to make this as efficient and as seamless as possible about a file share.
Yeah.
Yep, and all of the meetings have been recorded.
That's good. So we've got that.
there is one meeting that I partook in upstairs.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
And I don't know if that was recorded.
That
It was a
was- that could
simple
not have been recorded.
reserve fund transfer for something. But
Yeah,
it was,
that was a
That's when you were
last minute.
I was gonna say,
It
I
was.
wasn't there.
and we were supposed to meet here, but we ended up, someone was already here, so we ended up there. And I was concerned about the fact that our meeting
I
was
think it was a
posted. Is it posted for town hall, or are they posted for specific rooms within town hall? I'm just curious.
It's generally posted for town hall and/or town hall in the room, but some, yeah.
We get minutes that meeting.
We did, yeah, but did we ever approve them? Did he ever? Okay.
They got
Yeah,
submitted.
we approved, there was, I remember it distinctly, that meeting, there was probably at least two, at least, that we approved in that meeting. And that was,
And hopefully he.
So hopefully
He
the
turned
approved
those in.
meetings went to Susan.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right, because that's when we signed the minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we signed the minutes for them, and then I submit them, I put them in Susan's mailbox in the mailroom.
We'll get it all squared away.
We'll sort it.
And one last thing, Mr. Chair, and I keep forgetting, I just made a note. We'll get you gentlemen all name plaques too. I'll talk to Carly tomorrow morning, so we'll get those taken care of. So I may,
That's been a rumor that's been around.
you know, it's gonna happen. So I'll send an email to all of you. Just send me exactly how you want your name to appear. And hopefully,
seriously?
oh yeah,
I'm happy with it, I assume this was.
you'll be
fine.
surprised how many times we've had to make corrections. So,
I've seen spelling errors.
small detail, but we'll get those.
We'll get them, okay. Selby, thank you for raising that point. Very important.
All right, I move to adjourn.
Second.
All approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.